Hello crafters and welcome back to the This Calls for Confetti YouTube channel. My name is Deepa from Designs by Dee, and today I am sharing a fun coffee scene card with you that really mixes newer products that were just released along with some of the older products that are available in the store. So I really hope that you like this video, and if you have any interest in any of these items, they are available. There are links down in the description down below. So these are what we're using. We've got the Windowscapes Storybook Arch 1 and the Shutter and Transom. Those are newer. We've got Filtered Thoughts and the Daily Grind paper pack. And then we've got the Windowscapes 1 die and the Spring Balcony to use on this card. So lots of products going on here. You'll notice that the daily grind papers are really pretty. I'm using that Windowscapes window to kind of determine which paper I want to use and what image I'm going to show through the window of my card today. So I've chosen my paper, and I've also got one of these other papers here that's available in the pack. It's like a coffee stain type image. I really like this one because it is perfect. It gives the perfect look of like stucco or like any type of outdoor type of stone. So I thought that this would work really good with the storybook arch because it has like that nice arch texture and like that structural look to it of architecture. That's what I'm looking for. That beautiful architecture. And then put together with this coffee stain type pattern paper, it gives it this nice like aged stucco type look, which I think looks really nice and goes really well with these cards. So mixing that newer product, which is the arch, with the daily grind papers, it I think just works so really well. So I'm going ahead and I'm putting that arch together, and I like to start in the center with the stones in the center and kind of move out towards the sides and then line up that last row using a ruler, or I've actually got the lines on my workspace here to use. And I do kind of keep all of those little stones on my die cutting plate here, which makes it easier for me to just put it all together in the end. I think this is the easiest way to put this piece together. If I take all of those stones off, I kind of lose track of what goes where. So kind of just leaving it on your die cutting plate or even in the die if it doesn't fully come out works the best to kind of know what goes where. Now I've got that together. Moving on, I have cut out the shutters. I'm not using the transom and the actual frame of the window from the Windowscapes 1 die using this like it's like a shimmer gray cardstock, which I thought just went well with the rest of the look of this card because of the color kind of mixing well with the daily grind pattern paper that I picked. So all I'm doing is I'm grabbing those shutters and I'm adding some glue to the edge there. You'll notice there is an embossed line where you can kind of fold it, and that's where you attach the shutters, and I will attach it here to the Windowscapes window die cut. So you can see how this is, the measurements, everything are made to work with this die, which is much older. And I love that This Calls for Confetti does that because I can always grab the new dies or the new product and just mix them with the old stuff, and everything is made to match, which is just ingenious, I think. But I love that because it just stretches the use of your supplies, and it means that I can make so many more different cards, right? So I'm going ahead and I'm attaching that storybook arch to that window frame now, now that I've got the shutters on, and you can see that gives it such a gorgeous architectural look. And once you put this back on top of that, the rest of that coffee background, it is going to look so pretty. I'm adding some foam adhesive here just to kind of prop this up a little on our design. Now, I am just going to go ahead and attach this to the daily grind pattern paper of this coffee house where I want it to go. So I want as much of that blue, so you can see that there's like a blue or a tealy color in that pattern paper in like the front desk, like the counter and the framing on there that I wanted to kind of show through, so I can use that color in my flowers when I go ahead and use the spring balcony on this one. So I've gone ahead and I've attached it to the pattern paper, and I'm actually just cutting off the pattern paper around that window. I am not throwing it away. There is like a whole half of that almost that I can use on something else. So I put that in my packaging to use for later. I don't like wasting. I'm going to go ahead and now attach the other part of the daily grind coffee stain background there to the front of the card. which is where that art storybook arch was cut from. And now you can see how that wall and then the window and the arch structure kind of comes together and looks really pretty. I'm going to go ahead and attach the window, the arch window, to this, just using some plain old glue. I'm just going to go flat because we already have some dimension in the frame there with the foam tape we added there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stick down those shutters. So I'm just adding a little bit of foam adhesive here on one side and sticking one shutter down, and then I'm going to stick the other shutter down. So these shutters are going to remain open, and as you can see, they do kind of fall over the edge of this card. So even though this card is A2 sized, for this card you're going to want to use a larger envelope in order to get those the actual shutters in there without them getting ruined. And that's completely okay. I like using larger envelopes for cards that are a little bit more interactive like this, so that I make sure nothing gets ruined on my card. Now I also have those bricks that go at the bottom of the storybook arch, and I'm attaching those here at the bottom of the frame. And that pulls this design together nicely as well. I've got a couple extra of these little bricks, and I'm actually going to put them in the background to be like bricks that are kind of sticking out from the wall there, which I think gives it another level of detail as well. Now I'm using the spring balcony die set here, which was released during I think April, during Easter time. And I'm going to go ahead and cut out those bushes. So there's 3 bush dies, and I'm going to cut those out using some green cardstock. Now for this balcony die, I don't actually have to create the balcony because I've already got this scene here with the windowsill. So I just want to use these shrubs on the front of the windowsill to kind of create a scene where you've got the shrubbery, and then you've got the coffee scene looking into the window of this coffee shop and the beautiful stucco stonework of that storybook arch that kind of pulls everything together and creates a nice fun story, I think. Now I've got those bushes cut out. I'm actually going to create my own colored cardstock here. So I'm just grabbing an ink of my choice. I think that blue kind of matches the blue that's in the image there. It's a little bit more vibrant. The blue in that image is a bit more muted, but it's okay. I think it'll work. So I'm going to go ahead and use the flower die here to cut out some flowers here to put on our shrubbery. So I'll go ahead and cut those out, and then the next step is to start putting these shrubs onto our windowsill. So I'll just attach them with some foam adhesive, and you'll notice that I'm placing the foam more towards the top of the shrub because the bottom part of the shrub kind of overlaps the bottom of the windowsill. So I'm trying to keep everything kind of on the same level so die cuts are not kind of attached at an angle, right? So I've attached the 2 larger shrubs. I'm going to go ahead and now attach the smaller one right in the center. And then I think I've got 2 more smaller ones, which I'm just going to add on top to just create some more depth and layering in that windowsill shrubbery here. And I am attaching those with foam. A lot more dimension. I'm all about dimension. So keep in mind, if this is something that you want to put through the mail, that you might not want to add all this foam, you can just keep everything flat and it'll still work just as well. If it's something that you're giving in hand to someone, or you don't mind paying a little, I don't know how the postage works in the States. I'm actually from Canada, but yeah, do keep all of that in mind if you're adding all that dimension, which is, I think, actually absolutely gorgeous if you're giving it to someone in hand. So now I've added all of those beautiful flowers onto the shrubs, and I can work on my sentiment. So I'm grabbing that Filtered Thoughts sentiment stamp set, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp out the sentiment using a bluish type ink. It's a deeper blue ink, which kind of, I think, again, goes along with the blue that's in that Daily Grind coffee house image. I'm going to go ahead and cut out the sentiment. Now I did something fun here. I showed you on the spring balcony die set, there are these straight rectangular dies that you use to create the bottom of the balcony. Well, I found that worked perfectly to cut out the sentiment. So always look through your stash, even if you don't have the right, say, sentiment die or whatever it may be. You can find it in sets just by finding the right shape that you need to use. So that worked out perfectly for me here. I probably could have grabbed another set that had a sentiment die and done that, but that's okay. I found it right here and it worked perfectly. I've gone ahead, cut that out, and I've glued that on. And that basically completes this card for today. So I hope that you've liked this idea of mixing and matching new with old, and you'll go ahead and give it a try with your stash today. Everything used is linked down in the description below, as I mentioned before. And don't forget to like and subscribe so that you can view more TCFC videos on our channel anytime something new comes out. So make sure you hit that notification bell to see those. Have a great day, guys, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye.